Happy moment, and thank you for joining us on another Tale in Tune with TJ. I hope you enjoyed previously. I had an interview with my mom, Karen, not a Karen Kellogg, and we're not entirely done. So this is another part of that sit down that we had together. She's got another story that she's going to share with us, another tale on this time. So please stay tuned. Let's take it to mom right now. So since we do still have a little bit more time, I would like, Mom, if you would humor us, give us another story befitting to the season, perhaps.
Well, when you say season, I'm not really sure how to pinpoint that because here we are on the middle of summer and it's been in the 90s all this week. So to cool us off a little, let me give you a little winter humor.
Okay.
One of the things I remember when we lived, when you all were children, we lived in what people call the Junction. You've talked about that a little bit in some of your short stories, I think. Well, in the Junction, it was just one small subdivision, one way in, one way out. And sometimes in the summer, we were the kind that we didn't go to Poop Hill with our slides, but somebody might have gotten a new washer or dryer. We take that big piece of cardboard, open it out, tie one in, and let your baby brother or sister sit on it, hold on, and you guys would pull them around the neighborhood. That was always a lot of fun. I remember one particular really serious snow we got where one of you actually had to go out like a dining room window to come around to sweep or shovel away the snow so we could even get out the door. During that snowstorm, I actually got a picture of it where you actually had built a tunnel. You started on it before nightfall, but by the time it was ready for us to go through it, it was dark. But your ingenuity, you took a flashlight and had it stuck up in your ceiling of your igloo so that as we came into the mouth of the tunnel, we could see where we were going. But it was really that big and that long around the back of the house that we could literally crawl through this humongous tunnel that you had built around the back of the house through that snow. And I just thought it was something. You could go in there, you could sit around, you could look. But that's a really good memory. One other one, if I could mention though, before we actually got back to Illinois, I think one of you all even had a shirt that said, "My mom wears combat boots." I remember a particular time when you all were outside. It was starting to get dark. You all were outside playing in the snow, and I'm looking through the living room window. We were up on the second floor, and I'm looking down. There was a lot of lights, security lights and everything, so you weren't in any danger. But when I looked down and I saw you all having so much fun, and we're the kind of family that we love natural fun. It could be raining. Everybody else is running inside. We're running outside, right? So I'm looking at you all playing in the snow, and it's so great that I ran out there to play with you all, and we built the snowman, twigs for the arms, candy for the buttons, whatever. We went through the whole thing, and before we came in the house, I hadn't really realized I was in socks.
Was it socks or house shoes?
House shoes. Your mom wasn't wearing boots that night. We were just having so much fun. I don't want to end this on a bad note, but I will tell you one thing that happened that kind of reminded us that we all have to be on the lookout, because there are people that do not like seeing what symbolizes family. In the wintertime, I think one of the things that symbolizes family is like what we did that day in Germany. We were building a snowman. We were laughing, joking, having a great time. Well, another day that we did that while we were still overseas, we built a snowman one day in our backyard. It was big, it was beautiful, it was packed full of snow. It had the scarf, it had a hat, it had, Oreo cookies and a carrot stick nose. It had. Oh, that was.
I've been watching. I'm sorry.
Oh,
This squirrel been watching
this
him walk to the
squirrel.
street,
You
run
saw
out
the way he
halfway up
hopped.
the tree, came over here toward
Oh,
us, and ran the
he
other direction.
hopped so high.
He's so excited.
Sure, take the
I think he's listening to the story.
I think he's listening too.
He's like, snow? What?
What? I gotta get on my stick. I gotta make sure I got enough, saved up. But so we spent the afternoon building this fantastic snowman. It was really big. And so it's time to go in. We come in, we get our hot chocolate, we come out of our wet clothes and shower or whatever and get on the warm clothes, and we look out our picture window at this beautiful snowman. So now we're going on with our afternoon, and sometime through the day, somewhere in there, one of you all went to the dining room window and noticed that our snowman, the head had been knocked off, the body had been crushed, and this wasn't the snow melted it. No, it had been demolished. And I hated having to explain to you guys and to realize it myself what that snowball represented. It represented family. It represented fun, just good, clean fun. And like I said, not so much to end it on a sour note or anything, but just recognize, understand, realize that everybody does not like your joy. Everybody doesn't like you enjoying life or having a good time. And there's just a lot of enemies out there that don't want to see happy. They don't want to see it. And the ones that came up on that, they saw happy, they saw love, they saw family, because there was a lot of detail in that snowman. And I think they're like, either they don't have that at home or something that would make them feel like, I got to tear that down. But it made me appreciate you guys that much more, because you guys grew up loving nature. You could walk through a prairie and you wanted to go into the field and pick dandelions and blow them when they were just little bitty. It was just a joy. We could lay in a field and we could while away hours making figures out of clouds. And that's just the way you guys grew up, with the joy of nature, pretty much.
Pretty much. So as you can see, I have a really cool mom. What I missed out in the beginning is basically this is an army vet. My mom was in the military for how long? How many years was that?
10, a little over 10.
A little over 10 years. Did you hit sergeant? Was it first class? Were you right in first class? Or?
No, just sergeant, hard stripe, corporal, in that area.
She made sergeant. So basically, we were raised kind of military. So it was a lot of discipline in our lives growing up. That was a lot of my upbringing, as I recall. So when she was talking about being overseas, we were in Germany. And the winters there are different than the winters over here in the States. So we saw a different winter from Texas to Germany to Illinois, just different types of winters. So, but I'm grateful to have my mom, former military, still mom, and alive, wealthy, and doing alive, wealthy. I was gonna say healthy, but I'll say wealthy because there's an H. I put an H in there. But she's still healthy. I thank God for having that. I'm grateful to be able to meet with her and have this story on my very first video podcast.
It's an honor.
I think it would be apropos to have the one who helped with my beginning to be in the beginning of my videos. So, Mom, I'm grateful for you being on. And for those of you out there, if you find yourself in a place of disappointment, you find yourself in a place of depression, sadness, you're looking at your life and it's hard to find those bright days or those good memories that'll make you want to keep going, give your mom a call, give your dad a call, give your uncle or an auntie, a family member a call. They may have a story about your childhood, about something maybe that you forgot. And that hearing that story or that retelling of that story from their perspective, you may see it one way as a child, but hearing it from their perspective, that may be the thing to add the light to your life and re-spark that fire in your life where you felt like you got a little lost somewhere. That person will really help you get back on the right path. And if you can't find that in your family, look for my next video, because we're going to keep telling some good stories and to try to help bring you out of that sadness and help you find that calm until the next moment.